Alright, step one to put together our spicy Thai steak and noodle salad is we're going to make a little wet rub for the steak. We're going to use a skirt steak. So that was a teaspoon of sriracha. I'll spell that on the recipe page, but it's in an Asian hot sauce. That was a little dusting of chipotle pepper. That's a smoked jalapeno, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. That's all I had left. This is a red curry powder. That's a McCormick brand. That's in most supermarkets, but it's a really nice blend, coriander and cumin and a bunch of different exotic Asian spices. So that's a red curry powder, about a teaspoon. And this is fish sauce. Got to get some fish sauce. All right, it's a fermented sauce like a soy sauce. It's very salty, but it has a really unique, interesting flavor that's just perfect in this dish. So I want you to find some of that. Don't be afraid. And skirt steak is a long strip of steak. It looks like a skirt, apparently, although that's a pretty short skirt. Okay, that was about 1.25 pound size piece. And I sliced that into 5 or 6 pieces. Don't worry about trimming this. There's a little bit of fat on it, but it's not the silver skin, tough kind of fat. It's going to melt in the pan. So, all right, just give that a little toss with our wet rub. Okay, and then minimum 30 minutes in the fridge with that. Okay, you could leave it for a couple hours, or even overnight if you wanted to, but 30 minutes will be the minimum. All right, now we're going to just simply sear that meat on both sides. I got about a tablespoon of vegetable oil in a hot pan. Now be a little careful. That first piece of skirt steak is going to be kind of thin, and the one at the other end is going to be kind of a little bit thicker. So you're going to have to adjust your cooking. Maybe take the thin one out a little sooner. So that was about 4 minutes on one side. All right, and then about 4 minutes on the other. And when that tongue kind of bounces back, when that meat bounces back, you can feel it's getting about medium rare. I turn the heat off, and just to cool it down and to deglaze the bottom of the pan a little bit, get a little more of that juice off of there, or a little more of that caramelized meat juice, a little, I don't know, quarter cup of water. And just throw that in a bowl and let it cool down so you can slice it. This is 8 ounces of rice noodle, also known as Thai stick. You can find this in the Asian section. It's rice noodle, same thing they make pad Thai with. Cover that with boiling water for 8 minutes, okay? And put your timer on, because if you go too long, you're going to have mush. So 8 minutes with the boiling water. In the meantime, I had 8 minutes to prep the other veggies. So I took a whole bunch of mint. All right, that's one whole bunch, very important flavor component in this dish is the mint. And we're doing your classic chiffonade, which means you take 7 or 8 of these leaves, you roll them up tight, and you give it a thin slice across, and you get these beautiful ribbons of mint. And I don't want to chop that, I want it just like that. Okay, that's going to be beautiful. This is a Japanese vegetable slicer. It comes with a bunch of different blades. I'm using the one that does the fine little threads of carrot. You can use a vegetable or a cheese grater for this. And it does come with a plastic guard to hold the vegetables, but I'm not using it because I'm, what's the word? Stupid, okay? So if you're stupid, don't use the holder. You'll take your fingertips off probably, but be really careful with that. So after 8 minutes, my noodles were perfect. I drained them, rinsed them with cold water. All right, added my peanut sauce that you're going to see in another demo. Check out the peanut sauce demo. Just a simple peanut dressing. Hey, if you want to use store-bought peanut dressing, as long as it's good quality, not a problem. All right, so I'm going to toss that with enough sauce to moisten it all the way through. And then we'll start adding some veggies here. I ended up, I guess it was almost like 3/4 cup of the carrot. So we're going to throw that in. And again, I use that Japanese grater because it just makes perfect, beautiful little threads. Again, presentation, consistency, that's where you bring your cuisine up another layer. Grated doesn't look bad, but those vegetable slices are really cheap. And I got a cheat here. This is angel hair coleslaw bagged right from the grocery store. You know, I can't use a whole cabbage. I can't buy a 4-pound cabbage and slice it all up. What am I going to do with all that cabbage? So I love these little bags of the angel hair. So convenient. So you're going to add your carrot and your coleslaw mix, or just cabbage basically. Give that a toss. Man, that's looking good already. But it gets better. Throw in your mint. Again, that's a whole bunch of mint. Seems like a lot, but it's really important in this dish. Now, the only way to screw this steak up is to cut it with the grain. You got to go against the grain. You can see the grain. Look at the grain. Cut it across the grain, as thin as you can slice it. The thinner the better. As you eat that cold, slippery noodle with that delicious, spicy steak, All right, you want it to just basically melt right into it. So no big chunks. Take your time. Slice it thin. See that? Oh man, that looks good. So I served it with a wedge of lime. Again, the noodles are cold. The steak is just room temperature or even a little bit warm. I topped it with some chopped peanut and a little more of the mince. And that is a fantastic, interesting Asian-style, nice light dinner. Anyway, check out the video for the dressing, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. Enjoy.